Hi, I'm Coach Matt Painter. I'm here today to talk to you about motion offense. It's a great system. You have to have a lot of time. You have to, I think, start, what level you're on, has to start with your feeder system. For us in college, we start right away coaching our guys about the motion offense. It really helps them how to play. It takes a little bit of time, but you're constantly working on your motion offense no matter what your emphasis is. If you're in a transition game, if you're working on defense, no matter what you're doing, you're constantly working on your motion and teaching guys how to play. I think that's so important in today's game. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different trends, but always with your guys, how to play. They got to make a play at the end of a shot clock. They got to be able to make plays during the course of the game. They got to be able to read things. This really incorporates a lot of the discipline that helps them become a better player. It really starts for us. I think coaches think about the screening action of it. And then it's so important, the down screen, the flare screen, the back screen, the re-screens, all the different complexities that you can get into when you run motion offense. But it really comes down to when the motion offense is not clean, when something's not right. You don't have good spacing. You have a big guy with the ball who can't handle it. There's a lot of different things, really problematic scenarios that are going to pop up that you can cure through this. How to teach the motion through games, little competitive games, when to relieve the basketball, when somebody loses their dribble, when someone has the ball, like I mentioned, that's not a perimeter player, when you don't have an angle for some different things. We play 3 different games. One's called a 60-point game. All right, where the first guy can dribble the basketball. After he passes it, no one else can dribble. You're not allowed to screen in that game. They're all basket cuts. So you're working on guys basket cutting, you're working on people triple threatening, relieving the basketball. You're giving points for each pass, you're giving points for a layup. They're not allowed to shoot anything besides a layup. So they have to triple threat and get their space. They got to be able to see people cutting. They got to see people relieving the basketball. It really helps with guys understanding angles, stepping off, and then back cutting for a layup, all right? And it also helps them relieve the basketball when someone has it that maybe shouldn't have it in motion. That's going to happen in motion. That's a disadvantage of motion, is that everybody's going to touch the basketball, and they're going to get the ball in some different spots. That's why when I get down here about your rules for your team, all right, you might want to incorporate some different things with different type of motions to keep the ball out of certain people's hands. You go to a 5-man motion, it's going to touch everybody's hands, so think about it with your team, all right? The step-off series, something very basic, just working on stepping off, getting catches, getting angles so I can get the ball. You're going to take that away. I'm going to back cut you. I'm going to step off and back cut on the same line to have the right angle to get backdoor layups for people, because we want to catch it and we want to catch it in scoring position. But if we don't work on some of these things right here, we're not going to get better at it. 4-on-4 no dribble, I think, is the best, all right, because we're trying to score the basketball with defense all over us. All right, all over us, pressuring us the whole time. We got to get our space in our triple threat. We got to see the action, all right? And then if you can get guys to score right there without a dribble, you're going to get to be a pretty good motion team. You're going to have some struggles in all these games, especially 60-point game right away in the 4-on-4 no dribble, because if you have a good defensive group and they can't dribble, they should have a little bit of an advantage, but it makes them have the practice in these games harder than the actual game. So then when you get into the game and you incorporate the dribble, now you've worked on some things with the dribble about how to use the dribble constructively, who you are, what you can do. The discipline of motion offense. You got to set up your cuts. We talk about making hard cuts, making a back cut to the rim, taking a curl cut to the rim, just making a simple basket cut to the rim. What are people going to protect? They're going to protect the basket. And while you're protecting the basket, we got another guy who just screened. He's raising up to catch the basketball at the same time. Very important that you're disciplined in those areas. Set good legal screens. You're late to the screen, stop. It doesn't give you the right to keep moving because that guy didn't set up his cut. Stop. We're not going to get anything out of the action, but we're not going to get an illegal screen. That illegal screen is what? It's a turnover. We don't want turnovers, all right? Go to the next action. We get a down screen action, and I pop, and he curls, and we don't get anything. That cutter now needs to go to the next action. If he's got a post-up opportunity, post up. But if you don't sit there and post at 12, 15 feet when you don't have anything. Move to the next action. Go up screen for the passer. Let him go through. Now you catch the ball. Now you reverse it. Now we move on to the third action. It just keeps going. Now you got fourth action. You got fifth action. What have we just done there? We've made those guys guard 1 action, 2 action, 3 action. They're going to break down. And that's when we score. We score when you break down. If you want to break down early, we're going to score early. If you want to wait and have some discipline, good defensive teams can go whole shot clocks and not have any breakdowns. That's when you got to have players. They got to be able to make plays. But normally when you move the basketball and it goes side to side and you have discipline and you have action and you're cutting hard and doing all these things, you're going to get a good one just off their breakdown. All right? Realize who you are. Very important. This is probably more for the player than the coach. Who are you? What do you do? What's your percentage? Can you make pull-ups? Do you shoot floaters, runners? Is that you? Or do you want to just shoot those, but you're not good at them, so you're just going to keep shooting them? Very important, coaches. Always telling guys, that's a good shot, that's a bad shot. Always enforcing that, always talking to those guys about it. Also important as coaches, we know our guys. We're around our guys all the time. This guy could be making these shots in practice. Pay attention. You got to let a guy be able to shoot something that's a high percentage shot. When it's not, they need to get in the gym and make it a high percentage shot. Until then, we're not going to do that during the games. All right? We're going to stay away from that. So now we get good shot selection. Because what do we ultimately want? We want layups, we want free throws, and we want open perimeter shots by good perimeter shooters. All right? Getting a contested perimeter shot from someone who shoots 28% is not a good shot, guys. All right? Get your percentage up, get in the gym, work on those things. Now we can move and we can make that a good shot for you.